2 days in a row of March the Machine drafts. Getting more practice in for the Arena Open. I don't even know if it's going to matter, honestly. Because this draft format, you can definitely build super synergistic decks and try to compete with a lot of the high-level bombs and stuff. But the sealed format, sealed is always bomb-heavy. I feel like the sealed format is going to be pretty just dependent on opening incredible stuff. So I don't know how many times I'm going to try the Arena Open Day 1, because it's 5,000 gems per attempt, and I could see myself just opening too many bad sealed pools. I think we take Merciless Repurposing here. You're inspired by the Yorion draft. That was a lot of fun. Super, super fun. We got destroyed by a couple aggro decks, but most of the other matchups, we did some pretty sweet stuff. I think we even stabilized against at least one aggro deck, which was nice. This invasion's pretty good value on the front half, and obviously great if you can flip it. Obosh is one of the harder companions to actually draft around, so it's just going to be a main deck piece for an aggro deck. These seem fine. I've really liked Merciless Repurposing, though. Maybe Invasion of Tolvad is better, but I think those are the main two cards. The Branch Burner is really nice at the top end in red, with a lot of Convoke. I'm just going to take Repurposing. Yeah, repeatable Through the Breach is absurd. That seems like something you can pull off anytime you're in blue-black and you draft it as well, because you just need a common alongside it. So if you get a Through the Breach, you know you're going to get, or not Through the Breach, it's Breach the Multiverse. You know if you pick up a Breach the Multiverse in blue-black, you can pick up the Scabs later. I think I'll just take more exceptional removal here with Final Flourish. Herbology Instructor is really good as well. Thalia I've just found to be super annoying. I don't think Thalia is actually that good in this format, because even the decks that are playing Thalia are going to have a lot of non-creatures. So you're just hurting yourself too. I'm just going to take rate removal in black for now. Get more solidified into a deck later. Seems like a solid place to start. Removal definitely plays very, very well. Especially 2-for-1 removal like Merciless Repurposing. It exiles as well. There are a lot of graveyard recursion spells in the format, so being able to exile is nice. Alright, we probably move into another color here, because Failed Conversion is significantly worse than Final Flourish or Merciless Repurposing. Meeting of Minds has been an incredible draw spell. Just super cheap to cast this thing. Furnace Gremlin's good for the red-black deck. Gives you 2 bodies off 1 card to sacrifice. Seraph is fine in white-black. Pretty aggressive. This Invasion of Theros is super narrow. I think I'm going to take like a Meeting of Minds here. I like both of these Convoke spells a lot, and I already have 2 pieces of interaction, so I think I'd rather pick up the card draw Convoke spell. I think blue-black Convoke is definitely something you can do as well. Obviously, it's not the intended deck. The intended deck is blue-red Convoke, but there's just enough nice little aggressive black creatures to go along with blue's Convoke pieces that you can get there. Invasion of Kaldheim is not very good on the front half, but if you manage to flip the battle, it's absurd. Kind of hard to do that, though. I might rather just take Corruption of Tawashi. It's pretty slow, but real good value with some Incubate tokens. Drawing a card every time we flip one. Draw a card off this, draw a card off of the Repurposing Incubator. Could also just take Timuret here. Timuret's a pretty solid 2-drop, and we're already kind of heavy into black. We use black as a primary color. It's not that hard to cast a double black card. I'll just go Timuret here. Timuret seems really nice for a slower deck as well, because you just get some incidental life gain later on. Invasion of Alara is fun. I think I would pick one, pack one in Invasion of Alara if it showed up, but at this point, having a couple double black cards already, I don't know if I want to pick it at this point. Kind of like Freewheeler. I've never gotten to play with the Freewheeler, but it looks pretty good. 4 mana, 3/3 Menace, everybody mills 3, and then you can spend 5, flip it, make it even bigger, and reanimate a small mana value card. Not even just the creature, any permanent with mana value 2 or less. Yeah, it could be pretty fun. Try out the Freewheeler here. I know Ichor Drinker's pretty good. Really nice for the Convoke deck too, because you get a nice cheap drop, but I'm gonna play with the card I haven't played with yet. Scoop up the Freewheeler. Seeing a lot of Branch Burners. Is that a reason to scoop up the red card here over the Thunderhead Squadron? I think those are the options, Branch Burner and Thunderhead Squadron. Not that excited about the Squadron. We'll have red as an option here too, I guess. Unseal the Necropolis has played quite well. A lot of stuff that cares about the self-mill, filling your grave for some other stuff, and this can get back one of your most powerful creatures. We could also take the blue-black dual land. Taking those highly makes it easier to splash in a third color if that comes to pass. Gloomfang Mauler's fine. Cycling in the early game, Big Dork in the late game. Backwater, Mauler, Unseal. I think I'm going to take the Backwater. Like having my I's dotted and my T's crossed in terms of the mana base. Doesn't look like too much going on here. I guess Furnace Rains is quite good for the red-black sack deck if we head in that direction. Wicked Slumber's been solid in blue. Not anything super exciting though. Another Branch Burner, maybe. We are heading to red-black. Double Branch Burner Furnace Rains in that direction. I don't think I'm playing any of these cards. Just rare draft and uncommon. I'm gonna sort out all my non-creatures on the curve. Really early to check that. Yeah, this is not a mana curve at all. That's a late Temporal Cleansing. Good sign for blue. Charger's fine in red. Yeah, we're still bouncing between blue-black or black-red. Could end up in either of those decks. We don't have great synergy for either deck yet. Although Disturbing Conversion gets better in blue-black because there's a lot of cards that'll just randomly mill. So it adds to the -X. Alright, ooh, Invasion of Fiora. Get the on-color rare for our main color. I guess I do get to play the black board wipe. This will be the first time I've ever played with or against it in the format, so that's going to be nice. Blows up everything if we want it to, or if blowing up a specific card type works well for us, we can do that. So keep our eye out for some legendaries. That way our deck has a good mixture of legends and non-legends. It's not hard to get non-legendary cards in your deck, but we'll have to keep an eye out for legends. We have Timuret, and that's it for legendaries so far. Oh, Ozolith is pretty powerful, even without any support. Just getting 2 counters every turn. Might take that. Beatstick and Shatter are fine for red-black. Cryptomancer's fine for blue-black. We get a bunch of good green. I could see this Ozolith being pretty nasty. Yeah, Herbology Instructor, but there's also Atris for blue-black. 4 mana, 3/2 menace. It is a legend. And we get to draw some cards when it hits the board. Our opponent separates the top 3 cards of our library into 2 piles. We draw one of those piles, the others go into the graveyard. Fun little sub game when it hits the board, but at worst it's a 4 mana, 3/2 menace draw card. That's pretty good. Alright. That wasn't there. Maybe Ozolith into one of those solid green cards. Go for the pivot. Organ Hoarder at home? I mean, I think it's stronger than Organ Hoarder because it has menace and you can get 2 of the 3 cards. You just have to play with it pretty well. I do like Halo Charge Scab if we get a Breach the Multiverse. That's obviously hilarious. But I think I actually just want the 2-mana 2/2 to make sure I've got a good amount of those on curve for potentially convoking Meeting of Minds early and stuff like that. Traumatic Revelation's okay. Gloomfang Mauler is okay. Neither of these are exciting. Could splash in an Invasion of Lorwyn, which is just fine. Kind of hard to get the 5 damage to that in this deck the way it is currently. Yeah, it is Organ Hoarder with a stricter mana cost, but yeah, there are more different ways of upside for it. I'll take a Gloomfang Mauler. I'd love to take another Meeting of Minds, but I need more 1 and 2 mana creatures to really get that card to function quite well. So I'd need Ichor Drinkers and Aetherblade Agents, ideally. And Seal the Necropolis is nice. I like all 4 of our on-color cards out of this pack. Yeah, Agent's really nice if you can flip it. It does die pretty easily. I'll take the Agent still, though, because I'm looking for more cheap cards. Simulate Essence has played pretty fine. Could take that or Invasion of Vryn. Invasion of Vryn's a bit slow, and we already have some good card draw with Atris and Meeting of Minds at least. I'll take a Simulate Essence. Now there's Tetsuko Umezawa for another legend, and another 2-drop. That kind of makes me wish that the Aetherblade Agent flipped into like a 3/1 instead of a 3/3, so it'd be an unblockable way to draw cards. That would be super nasty. But it does not. Alas. So we're like blue-black control over here. I don't think we're controlling enough to want negate, but put it in for now and just cut once we get to like 24 playables. Oh yeah, a lot of these. If you could flip all of these cards at instant speed, they would be completely absurd. Just ruining combat. There'd be like no blocking in the format. Etched Familiar seems fine. Tidal Terror seems fine. Nothing super exciting. Go for the Tidal Terror. Make sure I've got a lot of land cyclers so I can constantly get to that 6 for Invasion of Fiora whenever we draw it. Don't have much to protect with Cryptomancer. Still might be better than a second Tidal Terror. You could also take Jungle Hollow for splashing in Ozolith. I don't think I want to splash in the Ozolith, but if I open up like a Glissa or something, it could help splash that. I think I'll take another Tidal Terror. This is a deck that's probably just playing creatures, trading them off, trying to play a little bit of removal or counter spells, and then just play larger spells than our opponent in the late game, for the most part. I haven't loved either of these. Just take one. I do like Halo Charge Scab. I'm not opposed to running that. Alright, pack 3. Let's get some sweet stuff so I can cut my triple negate. I don't think I want to run triple negate. Well, Yorion, it's too late. I mean, it's probably too late to run a 60-card deck. Unless every card I get in this pack is a playable. Yorion is very strong, though. Invasion of Segovia is the easier pick because we don't have to run 60 cards to make it great. We can run Yorion in the main. I feel like Invasion of Segovia is a little bit stronger in the main. Not dramatically stronger, though, because we don't have really good ways of attacking battles early. So we are relying a lot on the 1/1s. Yeah, I mean, I did Yorion in yesterday's daily draft video, so we'll go for a non-Yorion deck today. We'll take Invasion of Segovia. Now I want to just take some really aggressive creatures like Ichor Drinker, make our Convoke cards like Meeting of Minds better, and get more ways to attack battles early. Like Ichor Drinker here. Corruption of Tawashi is nice value, but it is quite slow, and I'm looking for more cheap things now. "24 cards. One of them is a land, though, so I don't need to cut anything yet. Getting ready to cut all these negates. Order of the Mirror, I guess. 2-drop creature. Skittering Surveyor. It's fine in here. It'd be our first 3-mana card. Even though we're only a 2-color deck, we are a deck that has many 6-mana things to do. So just being able to put a tiny little roadblock on the board and hit another land drop feels good. Might go Surveyor over Order of the Mirror. I don't love either. They're both fine. Okay. Here we have a Preening Champion. Completed Huntmaster is great as well. Scornblade Berserker is also great. This is a really good pack. But yeah, we've got no 3s, so I like filling that out with the Preening Champion here, or the Huntmaster. Pretty close competition between the two, but I do like getting the 2 creatures off the 1 card. That has always felt great, and having a flyer to attack our invasion of Segovia also seems valuable. Valuable. Pack 3, pick 5. I don't have as much removal as you would think in blue-black, because everyone scoops it up like their life depends on it. So I guess I could take Stasis Field. The only removal spells we have are the ones we took pack 1. We have Repurposing, Final Flourish, and then like some blue bounce spells. I don't like Stasis Field that much, but we can't get removal. Might be fine. I don't love Inga much. Expedition Lookout's actually kind of fun. I did do some things with Expedition Lookout in the last deck I ran. That was kind of cool. This pack's just bad, right? I don't have any knights. Got 1 knight? I don't think this is an Astral Wingspan deck. It doesn't look like a Protocol Knight deck either. I don't know, Wingspan seems more likely, but I think I'm still starting with it just in the sideboard right now. Cut these negates. Another Temporal Cleansing and Assimilate Essence for interaction, at least. Seems fine. Do that over another Ichor Drinker. You know what? I'm going to try a multiple counterspell deck today. I'll go double Assimilate Essence, because I have instant speed land cyclers. I have instant speed card draw with Meeting of Minds. I have stuff to do at instant speed if I don't counter something. We're just like a full dedicated Dimir control deck. See how good it looks here. Doesn't look great. Looks like a very average deck. Invasion of Fiora is going to be putting a lot of work in. As our bomb for today. For this draft. Did wheel the Expedition Lookout if I want to try to do that. I have some cards that mill each player. And the 2-mana 2/3 Defender, like I was literally just running it as a 2-mana 2/3 Defender in the last control deck I played. I didn't even know that it became an unblockable creature later in the game. Now that I know that, it's a little more exciting. It's actually pretty cool. Alright. 47 cards. Let's cut some goodies. Well, cut some baddies, ideally. Like Protocol Knights in this deck. Aetherborn. Not in love with the Oil Caster, but we might be doing a decent amount of little mill stuff. Conversion, Unseal. Oil caster mills each player. Halo charge scab does it as well. That's like 4. Probably not. It's not a great amount, but it's enough that this will be big later. Oh, and the freewheeler also mills each player 3. Sure. We'll be doing the mill each player thing. Hey, Christopher, how's it going? Kind of like the 2-3 defender. Just sits on the board, gums it up, convokes some stuff, and then late game gets an unblockable on Invasion of Segovia or Invasion of Fiora. Love the wingspan. I feel like I want to cut a few creatures and just be a very low creature count control deck. I like the Drinker for Convoke, but at the same time, we might end up just hard casting Meeting of Minds for full mana, for 4 mana. Just holding up Assimilate Essences or Unseal the Necropolises and stuff. Although the Drinker does get milled as well. We have a lot of cards that mill each player 3. It's the board clear battle. Yeah, we got it. We found it. I don't think Umezawa's great in this deck, but Umezawa's a legendary for Invasion of Fiora, so I can't really resist. Kinda, you just got to. If I'm ever really lucky, we curve out with like Tetsuko Umezawa, Iker Drinker into Invasion of Segovia, and they just can't block anything. We just flip the invasion really easily, and then have like 4 unblockable 1-power creatures. I think that's some magical Christmas land nonsense that's not going to happen often, but still fun. Is Timart good here? 100% Timart's good here. Timart's going to sit there and gain us life throughout the game because we can mill our opponent, and when we're trading off removal or creatures, we can keep gaining life with it. Counteract any graveyard recursion. Timart is also a legend for Invasion of Fiora. I think Timart's better than Tetsuko here, because Tetsuko's just more narrow. Timart gives us a little bit of incidental value pretty much every game. It's on rarer occasion with Tetsuko. Like, drop the oil caster. True. Our 8 and graveyard cards get a little worse, but I'm potentially cutting those because they're some of our weaker cards. We only have 2 of them that actually care about 8 or more. And they're both pretty slow. I might just cut those 2. I don't think we have anything else that cares about what's in the graveyard. I guess Freewheeler cares a tiny bit. But, I mean, it's only picking up a mana value 2 or less card either way, so it's not the biggest deal if I exile their 2 mana 2/1 from their graveyard or something, and then I just get my own instead. Yeah, I think I'm going to cut these Graveyard Matters dorks. And then 1 more to go. Maybe 1 Tidal Terror. We'll still have Surveyor and 2 Land Cyclers and 17 lands. A little bit of card draw with these 2. I think we'll still be okay on mana, dropping to 2 Land Cyclers. I think this is how I want to run it. This looks pretty good. Well, pretty average at worst. Definitely better than our first deck yesterday. I will take that. It could have been a Lutri deck. There's only 1 card I have a duplicate of, and I don't really need both copies. If I had that companion, that would be sweet. Yeah. I think this is gonna be the deck. Gotta make sure to remember to put up a prediction for anybody who wants that. If anybody wants to get your channel point bets in, is this a 3-win or less? Or sorry, a 4-win or less, or a 5 or greater? A 0 to 4 or a 5 to 7? How will this deck perform? Give you all 2 minutes to put your channel points in there if you want to spend them on something. Give you some interesting stuff to do. Don't know how I feel about this one. I'll turn the camera off for a second. Gotta blow my nose. Yeah, I really don't know on this one. I don't think I've ever played this dedicated blue-black control deck. The only time I got close was with my Yorion draft on the YouTube. And that was still 3-color. It was like Esper. And I had a 60-card deck because I had Yorion, so I always had an 8-card hand. I had big bombs that I don't really have here. I have Invasion of Fiora, which is a good one. I want to say, I say this with pretty much every deck that I draft, but I want to say like 3-3-4-3. But good run could be higher, bad run could be lower. I don't know. Curious how you all feel about this one. Looks pretty even. Hey Ariok, how's it going? Oh, I played a lot of aggro. I play more aggro than anything else. Not in this format. I haven't played that much aggro in this format. I think our last deck, though, our 7-1 yesterday, our blue-red 7-1 was pretty aggro. For 5-3 at least. Yeah, if you want to see me play some aggro, you can check out 95% of the Phyrexia All Will Be One drafts on the YouTube. Hope for 5-3 at least. I'll do my best. Listen, I'm always doing my best to win as many games as possible, just for my gyms to remain intact. So I'm always trying to be team 5 wins or greater, but reasonably thinking about how it will probably pan out, I don't know if it's going to get 5 wins or better. Had the doubt to make it 50-50 perfectly balanced? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Just started watching recently, so you're just wondering. My favorite kind of decks are aggro, but what I love about draft is how every format really shakes things up and changes things, feels like a completely different game to a certain extent. So for the most part, I try to do stuff that the format is kind of requesting us to do. Like this format's pretty mid-rangey, so a lot of my decks are going to be pretty mid-rangey. Yeah, I usually just end up playing whatever feels the best for the format, works the best with the format's archetypes and stuff. Because that's what I love so much about draft, is that it's a very unique experience every time. But my preferred deck style is aggro. So I do play pretty much only aggro if I ever play anything outside of draft. But yeah, in draft, I'm like a chameleon. It depends on the format. I'll play what's good in the format. All right, turn 2 Blight Reaper Thallid. Spooky. Kind of want to land cycle, because if I play this Tetsuko, they're just gonna flip the Thallid and hit me for 3 anyway. It's not exactly blocking the 3/3 well. And I want to make sure I get a black source here. All right. Swamp, let's go. Like holding up a counterspell or blocking a 1/1? I'd rather hold up a counterspell. If I don't use the counterspell, I can use Tidal Terror. Taking a big hit though. Blightsower Thallid is just a lot of stats. Well, can't counter an enchantment. That's awkward. That buffs the Thallid as well, so that my Atris is no longer big enough to kill it. How is it? That's a Phyrexian Saproling? This is looking bad. Blightsower Thallid is beating me up. Cannot play a creature big enough to kill the Thallid. I could put the Thallid on top of their deck and just take 5 if they flip the Incubator. Play Atris, I can trade into the Incubator token or the 2/2 Saproling, but then I take 4. They flip an attack with everybody, I take 6. I think I need to get into a position where I can like Convoke Cleansing and cast another spell if I'm going to get back into this game. I gotta be able to find a way to double spell. To tip the scales back a little bit. I need to hold on cleansing, I think. So I can potentially get like a creature down. Oh my god. Unseal and Repurposing are 1 card? How good is that 1 card? Is that Invasion of Fiora, or is it a land and my opponent is on the biggest bluff ever? I mean, I need double black for Repurposing, so it's not like I can cast it, and Unseal the Necropolis doesn't affect the board state in any way. I don't even think I get hosed if this is a land, because I can't even cast Repurposing in the first place, and I can't afford to cast Unseal until probably 5-6 turns from now. I can't be playing cards that don't affect the board state. So I just take the risk on the 1 card. And even if it's a land, if it's a swamp, it's probably better than these 2 cards. Unironically. The Dreg Recycler. Interesting. I think that is better than those 2 cards. For me right now. Those are some very smart piles from our opponent. If we could have got Dreg Recycler and something, that would have been awesome. I think some players would have been like Dreg Recycler, Unseal in a pile and Repurposing in one. But that was a very good pile. So 5 mana. I wish Cleansing was instant speed, but that would probably be too good. Guess I could play 2 creatures and enter the chump zone here. Trade Recycler into the Saproling, chump the Thallid, and then Cleansing it next turn. If they somehow have no more plays, that's how we get back in here. Thallid into Perfection is just really good. Makes their 2-drop a 4/4 and a 2/2. They did have to spend more mana to flip it, but still just a lot of stats from that 1 card. Alright, their Phyrexians have Vigilance now. We're going to 1, and then we're going to die to this Incubator. Because I can't bounce Thallid and play a blocker, unless I draw a 2-drop. We draw our 2 mana 1/1 Death Touch. Maybe we're still in it. It's a 2-drop, but we did not draw our second black source for it. I guess I should have specified. Arena gave me a 2-drop, but it gave me the only 2-drop I can't cast. So we are dead. Well. Yeah, that Thallid into Perfection is nasty. That is huge. Yeah, plus being on the Incubate deck, a lot of the creatures they cast were enchantments, so I couldn't counter them. That was some explosive stuff from the black-white Incubate deck there. Oh, this format is not that slow. Control is not the way to go, but I think mid-range is the way to go. I think there is a lot more aggro hate going on than there should be. Because I think aggro is pretty much just as viable as control. But I think right in the in-between in the mid-range decks is where it's at. But this format is definitely not anywhere near as slow as like original Dominaria or Strixhaven or anything like that. Do I want to just turn the Historian into an O2? I can still afford Assimilate Essence doing that. Can't really hit Invasion too much. I think that's fine though. I like holding up Assimilate Essence, and then I can play Surveyor and hold up Essence next turn, which is great. Botanical Brawler. Just gonna allow that one because it's not that big. I guess if they play a million counters, they could get through our Disturbing conversion. But I want to allow that and hold up the counter next turn with Surveyor. For a bigger spell, because there's so many explosive cards like Galta and Mavrin to counter instead. So now we're just chilling. Chilling until maybe we draw like a Tetsuko Umezawa, then our whole board is unblockable. That could be cool. I've already got triple black, triple blue. Let's get another blue. I think it really matters. Alright, let's hit some random 6-drop dorks. Or Tidal Krakens and stuff. Okay, that is... Oh my god, I forgot how Cascade works. They cascade even if I counter that. At least they don't get to cascade on their 6-drops. Got Invasion of Zendikar, but they have nothing to kill it. I could counter Invasion of Zendikar, but I think I'd rather counter Emoti, because that's just going to be multiple 2-for-1s every time they're casting big spells. And even if they don't get the 2 lands from Invasion, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They'll have 6 mana next turn if they just play a land naturally. Yeah, that makes our counterspell look super bad. Having the Cascade spell here from the Mystical Archives. Not the Mystical Archives, the Multiverse Legends, the one Cascade spell in the format. Ooh, Lathiel's fun. Every time they gain life, they get that many counters on the board. Well, eventually we might draw into something. I think I have to just try to kill this, because if I don't, they flip the Invasion of Zendikar and put 3 counters on something. They have the tricks, so they put 5 counters on something. Well, we found a non-land. Out of creatures to sack, though. They deal 11. We have 2 turns. They go swing in, swing in. Yeah, I gotta find the board wipe here. Well, now they'll have a 5/5 even if we board wipe. Oh my god, the Tangled Skyline for gain 5 with Lathiel. Oh my god. Lathiel is just popping off. well. Yeah, that's one of the cooler things about the format. With the Multiverse Legends, there's a lot of like hidden archetypes. 10. Just trying to see how hosed we got there. Statistically, we do have 17 lands, so that wasn't that unlikely. Does feel bad. Well, green can rapidly ramp. I don't think white really has any ramp in the format. But yeah, Invasion of Zendikar, super nasty out of green. They also have the Incubate enchantment that can ramp up, and the Portent Tracker that can untap a land. On the play, looks like one of our most legit hands. I think I'll go turn 2 Timuret and then play the tap land on turn 3. Tons of early drops here. Get things rolling. Yeah, that's the really cool part about the format. There's just so many little intricacies and interactions and stuff. That it does feel like you see new stuff every game, especially because Multiverse Legends are... A lot of them are just like cards you can build around or powerful enough that they're going to come into play a lot. And they definitely can change the course of the game and change how you want to build your decks. I mean, the best things that our deck was doing yesterday, our 7-in-1 deck, was like Brutaclad shenanigans, because we had built in so many different token types that we got to use Brutaclad to turn all our 1/1s into 2/1s, or turn them all into... I might want to just defend this invasion, because if this flips, it's horrific. Yeah, I'll just sit here. Yeah, turn all our 1/1 elementals into 2/1 mirror. Turning all of the tokens into artifacts was great with our vehicles that had power equal to the number of artifacts we controlled as well. There's like so many interesting Brutaclad interactions. Could play Tetsuko Umezawa. Start poking for 1 unblockable each turn with Ichor Drinker. Rather hold up the Assimilate Essence. Whenever a creature becomes the target of a spell or ability, destroy that creature. Do I have any abilities I can use? I don't have any abilities I can use to target cards that are currently on the board, so I think I need to just counter that. Exile it from the graveyard, gain a life here. Poking for like 1 to 2 damage every turn is not a very quick clock, so I'm just holding up Assimilate instead of dropping Tetsuko. Kind of a big deal. Give the Stormclaw Rager a counter and lifelink. It'll be a 3/3 lifelinker. They sack the Ichor Drinker. It's a 4/4 lifelinker, and they draw a card. We get in really well. Sure. Get the Assimilate out of the way, and now we'll drop Tetsuko. No sack still. Temporal Cleansing seems fine to use on a Stormclaw once it's got some counters on it. Could just use it right now and play Tetsuko at the same time. They have to redraw it. 2, 4, 5. 2 mana away from Gloomfang Mauler. It's not like I'm chipping in for all that much damage by doing it immediately. So don't think it's really worth it. I hit for like 3 a turn twice. It's just not much. Gotta play it real slow with this deck. Naki Javelineer. Might have to cleansing that. Atris though. Let's drop that down. See what we're drawing here. Got a 7 drop in hand, so if they show us 2 lands in a pile, I'm just gonna take them. I think I'd rather take the 2 card pile than 1 island. Though. I think I'd still rather draw 2 cards than 1 land. Oh, it's double swamp. Hey. Slow down the big butt. The Javelineer here. Yeah, I mean, it's going to tap to kill the battle in 2 attacks, so let's slow that down. Six. Next turn, we get to play Gloomfang Mauler, and then we just start beating down with some giant menace threats. Alright, they're going to redraw the Javelineer. Do they have another land to play it immediately? No, they're going to incubate. Sack the Incubator, make the Rager bigger again, and play a Thrill Seeker. That's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of stats over there. In order to block Atris, they have to double block and I kill Thrill Seeker. I feel like I put counters on Timoret here. It's gonna be like a 4-8 beat stick. That seems pretty absurd. How many blockers do I need to hold up for invasion? They can make this a 5-5. Then Mauler would trade, which I don't want to do. I think I just hold up Ichor Drinker as my chump. Alright, we get to kill the burn spell, which is fine. They're down to 13. For loyalty, you say? Let's destroy all non-legendary creatures? Period? Hit that for 4? Yeah. Yeah, that's a thing you can do. Okay, well... I think that's one of the dream plays. I think that's literally one of the plays that they mentioned in limited resources on the bucket list. There's a lot of plays on the bucket list in this format of like things to try to pull off. Invasion of Fiora to wipe the board except for your creatures that can flip it and then immediately flip it. That's super nasty. Objective achieved. Checklist checked. Wow. That's disgusting. All right. Yeah, that was a draw. 1 and 2. Is this the start of a comeback? Hopefully. Pull this back from the brink here. Objective achieved. Truly. This hand is slow, but we're on the play. Hopefully our opponent is slower. Uh-oh. Blue-red's pretty aggressive. Play something good to disturbing conversion, please. You're just gonna Meeting of Minds to draw 2. 100% they're gonna Meeting of Minds to draw 2. Is there anything I can even bring back yet with Freewheeler? I don't think there is. No, there's no 2-mana or less permanents. Well, I have a 3/3 Menace. Let's go. I could unseal the Necropolis, though, get back Preening Champion and something else if I mill something else. We have the Fiora in hand, which is huge. Ragavan! Oh, shit. That card's banned in Historic. Get it out of here. Only triggers when it deals combat damage to a player, so I could Disturbing Conversion it to just deal with it pretty much forever, right? Theoretically. Theoretically. If they have actual factual negate, that's not going to be a good time. Playing around Artistic Refusal there if they had 6 mana. But I guess if they have it, they can Refusal now. They don't have Artistic Refusal, or they would have held 1 mana up here. Could have Negate. Or Cyber Cryptomancer or something annoying. They're going to Dispersal their own Ragavan. That's not bad, that's fine. Yeah, Ragavan, if it isn't turn 1, is not terrifying, because you can just block it. You can assemble blockers by then. Keep it from triggering. Should probably unseal the Necropolis at this point, even if I only get 1 card. Come on, creature, creature, creature. Alright, we got a creature. Beautiful. Oh my god, its win rate is 68.2% in the opening hand and 52% if you draw it later. That's hilarious. Do we just ruin Ragavan's day by making a super wide board? I don't love making a super wide board with Invasion of Fiora in hand, but it could be worth it. I could also just flip the Freewheeler and shut off Ragavan again. Or I could pick up their Spell Spear. Ooh, Spell Spear is pretty nasty. Kind of want to flip the Freewheeler here. They have instant speed interaction. This is a nightmare, though. But then I guess I just board wipe next turn if that's what happens. Do I stop Ragavan, or do I get a Spell Spear? Let me get a Spell Spear. Which means I think I don't attack this turn. Yikes, that's a very good Wicked Slumber. This is some great Ren's Resolve draws. They just go land Agar now. They exiled my land. Well, that's nice. At least they did not hit something good for Ragavan. Okay, there's an Agar. They still have 4 cards in hand. This is the problem. Blue has so much good card draw in the format, and red with Ren's Resolve. It's going to be hard to get them to a position where they've like dumped their whole hand on board. But I think I need to try before I board wipe. Just go for maximum blockers. Blockers everywhere. Probably just keep Gloomfang Mauler for post-board wipe. I could also just blow up only their legends if they don't play any more non-legendary cards. Just killing 2 of their creatures and leaving my whole board state might be good next turn. But I don't really want to spend Invasion of Fiora right now, knowing that they could just go, you know, giant 4/4 flying haste dragon and some other nonsense because we got 4 cards still. I want to give them a little more time to put more on board, and if they don't do anything, then we'll probably just kill the 2 legends. At 11 here. Probably try to kill that. On board. Tidal Terror. It's a pretty big dork. We've got a Final Flourish. That is not big enough to kill a Tidal Terror. Could Temporal Cleansing it for now. I could Surveyor and still Temporal Cleansing. Four mana to flip. Transform the Spell Spear. I think that's too much mana because Cleansing is 4. This is 3. So I'd have to do this and I'd have to Convoke Champion and leave myself a little vulnerable. I think I'd rather just Surveyor and Cleansing so I can still hold up all my blockers. Oh, it's -6, -6. I thought Flourish was -5, -5 for some reason. Scovia is kind of guaranteed to die. If I do this, the only way that it doesn't die is if they block Spell Spear with 2 1/1s. It takes 3 damage. If I do this, it definitely dies, and then I untap everything. I don't even know if I'm going to need Invasion of Fiora, honestly. This game does make me feel warm and comfortable to have it as a backup plan. Okay. Flyer that can come back every time that they deal damage to my face with an instant or sorcery. Ooh, Tetsuko Umezawa with a Skittering Surveyor on board? Ooh. I could Convoke Invasion of Fiora. I don't need to, though, but I could. So I can Convoke Final Flourish because of Cadis' ability, sacking Surveyor after I Convoke it, but I don't need to sack Surveyor for anything. This can't block anyway, so I can already get in the sky. I feel like the board state is just already super massively favored to me. So I just get attacking. I don't really want to pay the life. I think I'm cool to not play Tetsuko. Just hold up Final Flourish. In case bad things happen here. But we're probably going to Final Flourish the Bloodfeather Phoenix. Alright. They're tired of me thinking. We're 2-2. They probably did not have much in hand there, and I didn't need to worry too much about my lines. Game number 5. We're crawling back from the 0-2 start. Let's go. Got blue and black because of Tidal Terror here, but our opponent's on the play, so we could definitely get punished having to just land cycle turn 2. But then I followed up with a removal spell and a Death Toucher after that. So I'm going to keep here. Oh, what a beautiful draw. What a beautiful draw. Now we have a super reasonable hand. Ooh, that can even play a turn 2 Timuret? Seems good. War Historian will start things off for our opponent. Accidentally minimize arena. Alright, here we go. I don't really want to stasis field that thing. I think I'll just play a Death Toucher. Hey Gab, how's it going? Goblet is meaningless. It's just a made-up word. Like a lot of internet usernames. Just a made-up word that sounds similar to Gauntlet, which was my favorite arcade game growing up. But Gauntlet was taken on everything, so I named myself Gauntlet, because I made it when I was like 6 or 7 or something. And then Gauntlet was taken on YouTube, so I had to be Gauntlet X. I don't know who on earth decided to make up the word Gauntlet before me, but someone did. Invasion of Belenon. Yep, that thing does get indestructible when it attacks battles, doesn't it? At least your name you picked as a kid is good. I like Cowboys, kid. Who doesn't like Cowboys? Come on. Hey, Rakent, how's it going? Had this username for 15 years. That's pretty sweet. I want to be able to Final Flourish this Historian sacking an Ichor Drinker, but I can't do that and Island Cycle in the same turn. And I really want to Island Cycle as well. I guess that's just a little too greedy. I guess I need to just play Ichor Drinker and hold up the Flourish. This also lets me block with Timuret without losing a creature potentially, but because my plan's to kill War Historian anyway, I should just get my 2 damage in. Although Timuret also keeps the Knight from attacking, it would just trade into Agent, and I'm not loving that trade. I'm cool to hold back. Had the username for 15 years? How long have I had Gauntlet? At least 15 years also, I think. How old am I? I think I've had Gauntlet for like 18, 19 years. Now I feel old. Cowboys adult with kid too. Nice. Be the more accurate username. I haven't played Gauntlet in so long. I kind of want to play some. I don't like the new one. They made a new Gauntlet game on Steam. I just like the original. The warrior shot the food. That's my stuff right there. The warrior just looks like a chicken running around. Like a rotisserie chicken, because it's just a little sprite. I don't know why, but that's what it looks like from above for me. Realm Breaker's Grasp on Timuret. It's not the end of the world. but it's not great. I think I still want to sack Ichor Drinker over sacking Timuret, because we could bounce their thing later. And I like getting Ichor Drinker in the grave to have a 2/2 that can actually trade into stuff instead of a 1/1 that doesn't accomplish anything. Naturally hit the island, so I don't have to island cycle this turn, but if I do, I know I can Halo Charge Scab next turn. So I think I just do that, right? I just do my sorcery speed ability to incubate so that I can have a 2/2 blocker to trade into their 2/2, and I can trade my Death Toucher into Daxos. So they can't afford to attack with everybody unless they have a trick. If they have a trick, then I don't get to cycle Tidal Terror, because I gotta just try this. Maybe they just have a bigger creature they're trying to get through my Death Toucher. And then I just Stasis Field that. That might be the case, because all of the trades happen. Wildwood Escort, okay. It's not a bigger creature, but that explains why they are willing to trade, because they get cards back. They get the War Historian back now. Drop Atris. And trade that into the Escort very freely and go up in card advantage. We've got the card advantage here if we can just keep trading off into their creatures. Should get there in the end. I do need lands badly enough to go land Dreg Recycler over probably Invasion of Fiora, I think. Yep. Goodbye, Invasion of Fiora. Good thing I have a Halo Charge Scab to put that on top of my library whenever I need it. I can still pick up my board wipe. We might recycle Timuret. Be funny. If I play a 5/6, then I don't really care about these indestructible War Historians anymore. I guess the fact that they have two of them means one of them is going to get through, but I can't kill the other one, I can just block the other one. I don't think I have a way to not let them flip Invasion. I need to have two blockers or a blocker and a removal spell. I'm 1 mana off from playing like Recycler and Scab. I could play Stasis Field and Recycler, but then I have to chump block to keep them from flipping the Invasion. I think we have to admit defeat there and just play like a 5/6 for now. I guess Halo Charge Scab is big enough to block Historian, and it picks up Invasion of Fiora for later. Might be better than the Tidal Terror. Sure, that seems fine. I like repurposing, but it's no Invasion of Fiora, is it? Alright, I can't stop the flip, so I might as well just not block in case they have a trick to kill the Scab. Oh no. Are they entering maintenance to where we don't get to play? Does anybody know? Are the servers going to be offline? Hey Icer, how's it going? That's a concerning message. How many drafts today? I was planning on doing 3 like usual. This is draft number 1 right now. If the servers go down though, I don't know what to do about that. Alright, well, they know we have Invasion of Fiora, so if they sit here not playing creatures, they'll just die to us playing bigger creatures, which is fine. They're like, kind of damned if they do, damned if they don't. What does Invasion of Fiora flip into? Remove all counters from up to 1 permanent whenever they attack. Oh, double hydrate, let's go. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you haven't been dealt combat damage since your last turn, you draw a card and lose a life. Oh, you get the Monarch mechanic, but you also lose life. Simulate Essence is a little late this game. Okay, they can trade 1 for 1 anywhere here. Just sending in the squad and then unsealing, picking up my legends so that I can Invasion of Fiora one-sided later. Seems fine. Could also just attack with an unblockable 5/6 every turn that they don't attack in. That seems fine. I'm gonna go for a Dreg Recycler. Attack with an unblockable 5/6. And now I can Assimilate Essence if they cast a creature, and I can unseal the Necropolis if they don't, picking up Atris. And I still have a 4/4 to trade into one of their 4/4s when they attack. Herbology Instructor. They've got the 4 mana to pay for that. If they do, they don't get to play anything else, and I get an Incubate token. Kind of okay with that, though. Trade. Inspired Charge. Take a little extra damage, and I do not trade. Sure. Unseal the Necropolis. Pick up the Scab and the Atris. Could just Invasion of Fiora now. They have 2 cards left in hand. If it's a creature that needs to die, I can Stasis Field. They have the Big Mommy, the Elesh Norn, 7 mana Elesh. Just always hold up Assimilate Essence if I'm too scared of that. I mean, I can just Stasis Field an Elesh Norn as well. Yeah, I can just Invasion of Fiora here. Oh, it's in the grave now. I didn't even notice. Oh my god, they literally do. We have 100% certainty they have it. I'm gonna keep my trapped Timuret on board. More tap/sack fodder. More convoke fodder. Attentive Skyward and get a flyer down. Atris time. Temporal Cleansing Tetsuko versus one card. It's the one card. Gloomfang Mauler? Alright, makes sense. But Temporal Cleansing Tetsuko is still wonderful here. Slow down the flyer. I still have a stasis field for the next threat, so I don't need to hold on to cleansing. Land. Sunder the Gateway Timmeret and incubate 2. If they attack with Surveyor, they can't block any of my creatures, and I get to flip Invasion of Fiora. Alright, let's flip that Invasion of Fiora, I suppose. Could put them to 6, but get a little greedy here and get a Marchesa on board. Menace Death Touch 3/6 with a bunch of extra text. I can pick up my incredible removal spell now, the Exile and Incubate. There it is, Merciless Repurposing. Alright, I think we have just a huge lock on this game. I feel like we've had it for quite some time just from all the absurd Atris card advantage style stuff. The only way I lose is if I mill out, so I need to be kind of aggressive, but I mean, look at this board state. We don't need to be that aggressive to kill them more than quickly enough. I'll do it anyway, though. Remove all counters from any permanent. We get to make their Incubate token a 1/1. That's wild. She can just delete battles or delete Incubator tokens if your opponent doesn't have an Anthem like this. Yeah, that's pretty nasty. 3 and 2? Turn an 0-2 start into at least an average 50-50 run. Great comeback here. We're 2 games away, believers. 2 games away. Gotta start to get a little bit worried, non-believers. We're at 3 out of 5 wins. Alright, on the play, Ichor Drinker into Timmeret into Invasion of Segovia. I guess because I have a tap land, I can't actually do that, so Timmeret into Invasion. Is the actual line. Skip over the Ichor Drinker for now. This Dismal Backwater has pulled a lot of weight for this deck. With our double black cards. Gift of Completion from our opponents. There's an Invasion of Fiora. We've got both our invasions, so we're going to have powerful spells this game. Oh my god, imagine convoking an Invasion of Fiora to destroy all non-legends with a Timmeret and Cadus on board? And Atris? I could have 3 legends on board and convoke an Invasion of Fiora. Oh my god. This could be an absurd game of Magic. It really could be. Our opponent's black-white though, so they're the Incubate deck, which means they're going to play a lot better against board wipes than most decks. Didn't hit another land for Atris. That's a little sad. I can guaranteed flip Invasion of Segovia by attacking with... I only need to draw 1 land if I can flip this. Anyways, if I just play Ichor Drinker, I can already guaranteed flip Invasion. I just might lose a 1/1. So I think I keep Stasis Field. Flip Invasion. And then I can still convoke Invasion of Fiora next turn, I just can't have an Atris on board when I do it. Stasis fielding a Hunt Master doesn't seem like a bad deal, though. So maybe I should have just done that. Yeah, I've got a potential board wipe coming up. This is kind of weird to do it this way, but whatever. I'll just get it off the board completely. Wait, what? Did it take 2? No, it took 1 damage. Alright. It's still on the board, but its abilities are all gone. Tiller of Flesh. You can convoke a Merciless repurposing on that. That's spicy. I mean, it's convoke that or convoke Invasion of Fiora. If I convoke Invasion of Fiora, I do immediately flip it. No, I'm 1 damage off from immediately flipping Invasion. Because I'd only have Cadus untapped, I could attack it for 3. I couldn't attack it for 4 instantaneously. I think I want to try to convoke Invasion when I can immediately kill it. The battle has an enchantment on it. Will it still be here after it transforms? I have no idea. I don't think so, because it completely exiles and leaves the board. It would not. Etched Familiar. Now I can Invasion and immediately flip it. And I still have Atris and Halo Charge Scab for later. I guess I don't get to because they have the Incubator they can flip. Never mind. No immediate flip of Invasion, and Atris would survive casting Invasion later. Maybe I do play Invasion this turn then. Or play Atris this turn then. Sure. Forgot about the Incubator. Incubator stops me from insta-flipping. Unseal the Necropolis or 2 cards? I like Unseal a lot. I'd be kind of okay if these 2 cards are land, because that gets me to Halo Charge Scab. Do I even have anything in grave for Unseal, though? Like, not yet, but if Atris trades off, if Timuret trades off, it's nice to have. I feel like I just take the pile of 2. Yeah, land is A-okay with me. If I attack with Timuret, I'm trading Timuret into the Etched Familiar. If they flip the Incubator, but I'm getting them to flip the Incubator, which is good. It seems fine. I might just be hitting for 2 also. Cool, we get the incubator flipped. Trade into the etched familiar. It's already auto sorted correctly. Pass the turn. Yeah, Scab to pick up a repurposing is great, since we got to draw 2 lands there. So even if I don't hit a land next turn, I know I can just play a Scab, put a repurposing on top of my deck, and have the 6 mana to play it the turn after that. I think taking the double land pile was right there. As nice as Unseal is later in the game. Azumi Freewheeler. Okay, they have an incubator token, but they don't have the mana to flip it, which means we can just go to town with Invasion now. Do our thing. Let's do it. Hold up. I could flip my incubator, but then it would die, because I'd have to flip and convoke it for that. Okay, we can't flip the incubator this turn then. Because I'd have to flip it post-invasion. Get my Iker Drinker incubate out of the way, though. That's pretty sweet. All right. We got to do the thing twice in one game. The Invasion of Fiora Dream. So, I think we lose if our opponent has Sunfall, and we win 99% of other games. We win 99% of the games where they don't have a Sunfall. Alright, Realmbreaker's Grasp. That does not look like something you do if you've got a Sunfall coming up. Norn's Inquisitor. They do not have the mana to flip. Marchesa gets to keep drawing us cards, even if... even if she can't attack and block. Are all backsides of battles legendary? A lot of the rare ones, yes. There's a lot of uncommons where the back isn't legendary. So I think it depends on the card. But I think like all the rare ones are legendary on the back, at least most of them. Yeah, I could scab back Marchesa if I sacrifice her to something. I've got the mana to flip both of these, attack with them, and still hold up Assimilate Essence, so I think I'll do that. Sunfall exiles, so I couldn't scab back Marchesa if they Sunfall. But I do have some sack stuff in this deck. I think I've already hit it all though, because I already got Final Flourish. That's the main sack thing that I remember. Is there anything else in here? There's a Dreg Recycler. Could sacrifice her to Dreg Recycler and that could be great. But she's fine as an enchantment on board right now. Other Phyrexians get +1/+1, they can sack something, bring it back from grave. I feel like I have enough power on the board that it's kind of worth it to just slow that down. Oh, I forgot it has Convoke also. But I think I have enough power on board that countering that makes it so they just have a 2/2 and a 1/1, and they go down to like 4 life here. Alright, draw 2. Aetherblade Agent is the draw. It gives me something good to play other than Scab, so I can still have the backup Scab for later. These are both 2/2s, but they're 3/3s with Inquisitor. I think I still attack with everybody, because they can only flip once. They can block with a 3/3 and a 1/1, which means they put a 1/1 on this, and they put a 3/3 on this and take 5, go to 3. Yeah, I still attack with everybody. I don't think they can afford to just kill a 2/2 and go to 2 life here. I guess they could barely, but they have to chump with Inquisitor here. Alright, cool. Down to 3. Yeah, I think our plan is just like, if they Sunfall, then we just Halo Charge Scab, pick up on Seal the Necropolis, and just have a 4/4 and 2 other creatures, like whatever creatures we milled. And if they don't Sunfall immediately, they're at 3 life now, so they're probably dead this turn. 3 power Menace creature, 2 other 3 power creatures. 0/2 into 4/2! The huge comeback. Already super happy with that. We're breaking even now. Well, we're down 100 gems, but basically breaking even, Premier Draft-wise. 1 win until we're in the money, and that includes all the believers. This is the game that decides it for all of you. Anybody who spent any channel points here. If you believe in this deck, and we get 1 more win, I'm getting your channel points for you. Non-believers shaking in their boots. Four and 2, heading into round 7. Non-believers in shambles. Not yet. Not yet in shambles. If I win this game, then yeah. Timurt's going to be uncastable for some time. Tidal Terror doesn't do much late game. Skittering Surveyor doesn't do much early game. And feels low impact enough to just mulligan with the rough mana for Timuret. Opponent's on the play as well, and all I do is try to counter 1 spell, then play a 1/2. Could be a keep, but barely. I'm going to go for the mull here. This is significantly better. We have 3 out of 4 lands already for Atris. I could guarantee the 4th by keeping Terror, but I think I'd rather just keep Scab and go Agent into Atris into Scab. I just need to hit 1 land in my 4 draw steps until turn 4. I think that's kind of reasonable. And now I have a Death Toucher for their early play. There we go. Now we've got a full curve and we're guaranteed the 4th land. Look at that. What a draw. Skittles, our best friend. Oh no, it's a blue-black mirror match. I actually kind of want to play against aggro with this deck with our board wipe. Yeah, Atris is great. Atris is very fun and very powerful. Sit up straight a bit here. Now we have a final flourish for some interaction. Chrome host Siege Shark. I think it's final flourish time. That incubates every time they cast a non-creature spell. So they just get another creature whenever they cast a spell. It's Sharknado, but they have to spend some extra mana. Yeah, I have to 2-for-1 myself to kill that, because if I don't, they're gonna like 3-for-1, 4-for-1 me overtime. Invasion of Rin. Draw 3, discard 1, and chip at it with the Oracle of Tragedy. If they flip it, they get to double a spell later. Gonna be a card advantage mirror match. Lots of card draw all over. Here's Atris. I could see that Cowboys thing is absurd, turn 2. I have a 5th and 6th land already thanks to Skittering Surveyor, so I don't really care about the land at all, and a 2-2 doesn't matter too much either, so if pile 1 is just a land, so be it. I want the chance of hitting Merciless Repurposing or Invasion of Fiora or something like that. It's a Gloomfang Mauler. Alright. That is the better pile. Your combat trick, nuke my Atris here. What kind of combat tricks are even in blue-black? Let me just think of bounce spells and removal they could already use. Yeah, I guess just draw a card, discard a card here. Maybe they have the -1/-1 to all creatures main decked for against green-white. Oh, Mirrored and Avenged. I never think of that card because it's not very good or very popular, which means it always gets me. Strobe Knight is horrific. They start double spelling, they're just gonna go crazy. I could just play Scab hoping to mill Invasion of Fiora. Or I could play Surveyor plus Timuret here. Gives me the option to exile their Seed Shark from grave later on, if they ever play any graveyard recursion, which is nice. I think I'm cool with just Surveyor Timuret. If I need a board wipe, I can still try to Scab to find it later. Alright, poke Invasion of Rin for 2. It's down to 1. They have 6 mana up, and they're going to play Order of the Mirror. We draw into a Tidal Terror. So Invasion of Rin is just straight up flipping. Which means they get to double spell with Strobe Knight and probably copy something really powerful. See just running out Tidal Terror, but I could also see scabbing and hoping. But I guess if I reveal Invasion of Fiora, it's going to be significantly weaker. I might have a counterspell here. Don't really have any attacks. Alright, they've got the counterspell. I don't really want to see what they're going to double spell, but we're going to see. Or what they're going to copy. We'll find out. Can't block this because it gives everything that blocks it -1/-1. Okay, they're not copying the Oil Caster, fair enough. They are getting a huge board. Okay, we are in more than a bad enough position to just scab for the board wipe now. If their last card is Assimilate Essence and they get to copy it with Majoring, that's nasty. Okay, no board wipe. I don't think I put Flourish on top. I only get to kill this, and then I still die to the rest of the board. I think I just need to be in the top deck mode. We've got a lot of card draw. Well, not a lot, but we've got some card draw left. We've got the board wipe in here. We've got Merciless Repurposing. Uh-oh. Each player mills 3. They didn't mill Invasion of Fiora. They can cut. Wait, it doesn't let me respond to them choosing their targets? That's so... What? They literally just milled the Archpriest, so I don't think I could have stopped that. I could have stopped them picking up the Seed Shark. Yeah, it's part of Resolution. That's so annoying. To have the Graveyard Hate, but the spell, because it's part of Resolution, doesn't let you respond to them choosing the 2 targets. Well, gotta top deck the board wipe immediately. They're gonna double Chrome Host Seed Shark, probably. No, they are not. Still keeping the majoring. Their deck is bombier than ours. They've got Archpriest of Shadows. If I could highlight it. They've got Chrome Host Seed Shark. They played on us twice. They've got Breach the Multiverse that they milled. Big yikes. Alright, please don't mill our invasion. That's not our invasion. I think I've got like 1 draw step, and then even if I hit it, they just get to double Archpriest next turn. If I don't hit it, Gloomfang Mauler, make Timur to 4/6 is pretty good. If I can survive, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 damage this turn. Go to 8, gain 2, go to 10. Next turn, take 1, 2, 3, 4, 9, 10, 11. I think I could survive not blocking right now with anything else. They only return creatures with this thing, right? Return a creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. So I can stop Archpriest from doing anything with Timoret. Oh my god, they double spelled again? Yeah, because they milled and then recast that. Can still barely survive 1 more swing, I'm pretty sure. If I do it now, they're going to have 2 5/5s on board after I do it. That can return things from their grave. Because they can majoring the Archpriest. If I wait a turn, they don't pick anything up from their grave, but we might die. I guess they pick up the 1/3. So they can double the Archpriest with the majoring. We can go block there, block there. Or I could go block there, double block there, because I'm going to play Mauler. Take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 maybe? I kind of feel like I have to wait a turn, because otherwise I'm still going to lose to double 5/5 Death Toucher after the invasion. I need them to miss a draw here, though. And just hit a land and just play the double Archpriest over anything else. They drew into removal spell here. We're dead. But if I invasioned and they drew into removal spell, we would also still be dead, I'm pretty certain. Right, because we'd only have a Timuret left. They'd have 2 5/5s, and then they just blow up Timuret, and then they kill us next turn instead of right now. Okay, so they're guaranteed to get a creature or battle from... I guess they get invasion back. That's pretty good. Yeah. Okay, each player mills a card. They're going to get invasion back from dealing combat damage to a player. Or Oilcaster back, since I'm going to kill that here. We're going to take 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They can't afford to recast invasion right now. And this way I get to keep Timuret on board and immediately flip invasion, although I'm at 3 life, so if I flip invasion, then Marchesa might kill us. Okay, they're going to put Oilcaster back on board instead of Invasion of Rin. Oh my god, and they dumped their last creature out. Wait, invasion won't kill us because Timuret's going to gain us life. Oh my god. Oh my god, they have no legendaries? Destroy all non-legendary creatures? Flip this. Start gaining life with Timuret to not die. To the life loss of the card draw. And we have a Merciless Repurposing in hand. And they're playing off the top. Reigning Champion's a good start, but I've got Merciless Repurposing for that. Okay, I was going to say I need to hit a land so I can gain life here. We repurposing that and gain 2. Probably safest to hold up a Blockady here. And gain 2. Pass turn. They've got to pass back. Let's gain 2. 1. 2 life. Up to 4, go down to 3, draw an extra card. Get an Ichor Drinker with lifelink now. To block and trade. Swing in with everybody. Not going to remove any counters. Pass turn. They're down to 7 now. They've got a tenured Oilcaster. It's a big one. Let's gain some more life. Exile Archpriest, exile the Seat. I should have exiled these first, honestly, but I just wanted life gain. Creature. They go block here, take 7, that's lethal on board. And we've got a Preening Champion if we somehow don't kill them. This format is wild. Swingiest games of Magic I've played in Limited in years. Good lord. Yeah, holding on the Invasion of Fiora really, really panned out there. Because I think if we didn't hold, we would have died to them just doubling up 5/5s on us. So that was just a playing to your outs kind of thing where it's like, we probably just die. Even if I Fiora right now, so I have to do my best, hope they miss one draw, and then invasion, and it worked out so well, because we get to make the Timuret big enough to immediately flip Marchesa by doing that. Well, there you go, believers. We turned an 0-2 run into a 5-2 for all of you. It's a 5-win run. Non-believers in shambles. But they were so confident when we started 0-2. They were like, this isn't going to make it. This isn't going to make it. Oh, turn it all the way back around. I'll pay out when the draft is done. But believers, we did it. Turned a 0-2 to a 5-2. Let's go. That is so sweet. That was insane. Insane. Oh my god, yeah, that was a wild ending in that Yorion draft on YouTube, Angerin. Final game, it was like they got a top deck removal, and then they hit, not only did they hit the card that draws them a card, but it's the one that exiles it, so it reveals it to everyone. They just reveal removal spell casually. It was like, no. It was a sad ending. It's still a fun game, though. That was, again, super swingy game. Just in our opponent's favor in that one. I'll keep this. I can't cast the Timuret, but we've got early game creatures to play. We know we have tons of great late game stuff. Yeah, they had no legendaries at the time, so that was part of the draw of waiting a turn. Is that I can make Timuret big enough to insta-flip by making it a 4 power creature with my giant Swamp Walk thing. So that was part of the plan, was that they had no legends, so we could get it one-sided. I'm gonna go Timuret now. I don't think we're doing anything. Our opponent's red-black, so probably just sacrifice aggro stuff here. So we're hanging out, blocking things for now. Seems pretty fine. Nezumi Informant. Well, there goes an island. So if I really need another one, I can cycle the Tidal Terror. The rest of the games are going to be anticlimactic now. Hey, I'll take it. 5-win runs are great. We're in the money at 5 wins, so whatever happens here, we can just kind of sleepwalk through the rest of the games. Ichor Drinker Tetsuko feels pretty good. Just gain a life every turn, just keep draining them. All the blockers in the world for whatever aggro nonsense they want to do. They have another Nezumi Informant, it's gonna basically kill my 5/6. Alright, Furnace Gremlin. Merciless Repurposing. That makes me want to grab an island pretty much right now. Yeah, Tetsuko's interesting. Caring about the power or toughness. I definitely attack with Ichor Drinker. I don't know if I'm supposed to send Tetsuko in, because they do have a lot of creatures to attack me with. I guess it's really just the 2/2 and the Gremlin. Tetsuko can block the 2/2, the Gremlin, though. Tetsuko doesn't really matter as a blocker for us, so sure, we'll get the 2 damage in. But yeah, you can build a really fun Tetsuko deck. With a bunch of, like, 2 mana 3/1s and 3 mana 5/1s and stuff like that in Constructed. I'm going to Island Cycle right now so I can play land for turn, and then if I hit any land, I can play Repurposing next turn. And just having the mana for that seems huge. You just sack a land to draw a card? They are a very aggressive deck. Brutaclad Tetsuko has destroyed you? That sounds awesome. Yeah, Brutaclad's so fun. We had Brutaclad last night. We didn't get the Tetsuko, though. That would have been sick. I'm not going to exile my own thing right now. Alright, we have Merciless Repurposing mana, so we're just going to stare at our opponent. We get to keep hitting them for 2 a turn and gaining a life. We've got a control on the board state, slowly but surely. Putting the life totals in our favor and repurposing for whatever big threat they try to play eventually. Like how the game's going so far. They do have more cards than us. That's pretty spooky. Probably have to repurpose that. Make Gremlin a 2/4 double strike. I guess I could repurpose the gremlin, but still just block it and kill it another turn, just take 4 right now. I think a 3/2 double striker is scarier than the 2/3 fire breathing, even though it gets a good trigger when it dies. Right, I can exile the Scald and have a 3/3 to trade into Gremlin later. Oh, I don't get the 3/3. I forgot, repurposing just doesn't work against sack decks. All we get to do is kill the card, we don't get our incubator. I think that's still the better kill. Ooh, Freewheeler. Freewheeler's very cool. Yeah, the Multiverse Legends are very, very cool, that they just like create new archetypes. The red-black one's kind of boring. That's just a... Red-black sack's already an archetype in the main set, but there's like nothing in the main set itself that cares about equipment red-white. But in the Multiverse Legends, you get the 1 red, 1 white 2/2 that gets double strike if it's equipped, and stuff like that, and Valduk. So you can build an equipment deck even though the main set doesn't have an equipment deck. Stuff like that is really cool from the Multiverse Legends. We are 5-2. We did the 0-2 into 5-2 believers, so you will be paid out at the end of the draft. We got there. Oh yeah, SRAM's awesome. They can only buff it once. They might have a trick to kill Timuret here, but let's see. Looks like a no. Alright, now I can exile some... Oh my god, they milled a Shieldred? Woo! Get out of the graveyard. I don't want to see you. Oh, do they have the instant? Oh my god, if they have the instant... Okay. The mill 3 return 2 cards instant would have got me so bad there that maybe I should have waited till I had all my mana up and then went to exile Shieldred. I probably should have to play it safe there. Oh, another 1-power creature go with Tetsuko. We're just going to grind out a victory with Tetsuko Umezawa here, straight up. This is hilarious. I could return Yuri with Freewheeler just to have another 1/1. Stop pronouncing it as Tetsuko. What is it? It's not Tetsuko. Is it Tetsuko? I have no idea. I don't speak Japanese, I'm sorry. I'll send in here. Get the Surveyor down and have double black to exile cards from grave. I think I'll grab another black source. I don't really want to exile their 2-drop because we have Nezumi Freewheeler. But I'll exile the other card. Furnace Gremlin. Attacks for 3 with 3 mana up now. For buffs, I think I just take it for a turn. And then when I flip Freewheeler, it's big enough to trade in. Well... I can't respond once they choose their targets, because it's part of the resolution. So I need to just exile the best cards in grave right now. which is definitely Halo Charge Scab because they can combo my Halo Charge Scab with their Breach the Multiverse. So we choose Halo Charge Scab Title Terror from our grave and then Preening Champion and Scald from theirs. Or from both graves. They can keep Yuri though. This could be bad. This might just kill me. This Breach the Multiverse. Because it's going to mill 10. Like, the next 10 cards could have something better. But I can't exile in response to any of these 10 that get milled. Gloomfang Mauler from our deck. And Stormclaw Rager. Timoret Flitting Gorilla. That is pretty nasty. We're still unblockable. I mean, we know what they're getting from our grave. I guess they're still deciding on theirs. Gloomfang. Could have been worse. Could have been straight up game ending. This way we're still in it. We're fighting. We're competing with each other. It did just get dramatically more in our opponent's favor though. Because that's some beef. Yeah, it could have been Halo Charge. Well, I think we only have one Halo Charge Scab in this deck. Yeah, we only have the one. We exiled our one Halo Charge Scab. So it couldn't have been Halo Charge Scab since we stopped that from happening. Unless they're splashing blue. Alright. They have no legends out, but they get a token from Furnace Gremlin. I only have 3 power, so I can't immediately flip Invasion, but I can hit it for 3 and then flip it next turn. I mean, I think we just do it. They can have a 3/3 Incubator left over. And drain us for 1 life with Recycler. Yeah, if I'm gonna do it anyway, I sack my own Recycler. Destroy all non-legendary creatures? Put Invasion of Fiora to 1 so Umezawa can finish it off, no matter what they have to block with. And incubate with our Dork. I do have to not mill out. I'm at 10 cards. And Marchesa would draw us a card every turn, but I don't think I will. They have 13 life. Alright, they're over it. 6-2 now. 0-2 and a 6-2. Good grief. The 6 win streak. Yeah, Invasion of Fiora has been the greatest. These legends in this deck have been phenomenal. We're getting 1,800 gems in 5 packs no matter what, and we're heading into the final boss, final game of Magic for this draft. No matter what happens. This has been awesome. So happy to have this win streak after the first 2 losses, just to be able to play with this deck a lot more at least. Because the legends are all pretty fun. That was like the most work we had Tetsuko do there. Was that Tetsuko? Like pizza? Tetsuko? I don't know. I don't know. That's as good as it's gonna get. That's as much work as Umezawa did there. I plan to do more drafts today. There was a message about server maintenance or something, so I mean, if that kicks me off, then maybe not, but I'm planning to do more. I think I need to mulligan this, because all I can do is Disturbing Conversion. If I hit any land, I get to play Preening Champion into Meeting of Minds. I am on the draw. I'm on the draw on any land opening up half of the hand is good. And a Swamp makes the hand really good, because Ichor Drinker and Preening Champion are both great with Final Flourish and Meeting of Minds. Keep the 7 here. Well, Atris is a great draw if we find a black source. I'm getting very conflicting results on how to pronounce Tetsuka Umezawa, so I'm just... We're gonna saffron all of it. I don't care anymore. That's how I pronounce it, and it's gonna continue. Play Preening Champion. That was a beautiful draw. I should probably just Final Flourish the Strobe Knight. They're on blue-red. If they double spell one time, it's gonna be a really big deal. Umezawa-san. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Disturbing Conversion now? Like better than just playing a Preening Champion currently, or an Atris that's not going to kill that. That'll give it -3 right now. They gotta dump a lot of mana to hit me harder here. Conversion it, see if we mill anything that matters. We did not. Now I believe I just Ichor Drinker and pass. Yeah, that's hard, because it's easy to just refer to things as the first part of their name. But then, yeah, the fact that every single battle in the set is invasion, like I've had issues with that in other sets, where I'm trying to, like, I'll refer to things as Cavalier, but then there'll be like 3 different Cavaliers in the set, and it's like, well, that's an issue. Wow, that card is actually perfect against my Disturbing Conversion. Now they're just gonna buff Raptor and put it back in their hand. I guess I can at least Atris to trade. So they can't just put it in their hand here. Or double block Bruiser and kill that, let them put Raptor back. What on earth is this card? I don't have the mana to play another land right now. Alright, I've already played land for turn, so it's going to be a little while till we get to Gloomfang Mauler. And Assimilate's not very good when they know it's coming. Good. This is a land, that is super bad, but I don't think Assimilate's very good. I'm going to choose the 1 card. Oh! Hello! Hey there. How are you doing? Been a while, Fiora. Nothing is worse than Marauding Blight Priest versus Malakir Blood Priest when it was in Zendikar, because everyone just call it Blood Priest. Well, that's a nightmare. Now they get to put the Raptor back into their hand to play around Invasion of Fiora with Scrappy Bruiser, and to get rid of my removal spell, and I have no blocks. That seems very good. Just Trump and then Invasion anyway. I don't think I'm going to Invasion immediately, but I'm still going to Trump here. Nezumi Freewheeler is the draw. Samurai Jack, yeah. Can Printing Champion and Iker Drinker still holding up Meeting of Minds? And it kind of looks like we might just want to flip our 2-2. This Invasion of Fiora is getting significantly worse since they know about it. But it is still probably good. Especially if we hit more legends. They haven't played any legendary cards yet. Uh-oh. A legendary card? Now what? It looks like they probably don't attack in here now, if they're playing Inga. Maybe with a land. Nope. Alright, Meeting of Minds. Draw some cards. Tidal Terror Merciless Repurposing. Any 2-mana or less permanents to pick up? We've got our Disturbing conversion to pick up with the Freewheeler. I think Freewheeler post board wipe could be incredible for us as a line. Yeah, Inga's really good against Invasion of Fiora. I might even just repurpose Inga, which is weird. Yep, we're 6-2 now, Christopher. Final game. Yeah, if I draw Scab later, being able to Scab back Invasion of Fiora could be nasty. That's kind of awkward. I think I'm on repurposing right now. Yeah, they've got a lot of good baked-in card draw to not have to overextend when they know there's a board wipe. Shatter the Source. Convoke that to kill my Incubator or my Printing Champion. They can play it till the end of their next turn. Kill my 3/3 instead. What's all this then? Oh, they can buff the Conjurer to pick it up with the Bruiser? The Scrappy Bruiser's been disgusting. Probably go 2/2 and 1/1 on the Conjurer so they can't pick it up. I might repurpose the Bruiser instead of Inga. Probably not, though. I can't afford to repurpose and flip an Incubator right now. So I'm just going to block with these two. Okay, we got to restart Magic Arena after this draft. Disabling new matches in 10 minutes for those who have not updated. Okay. I kind of feel like I have to get rid of Bruiser, because otherwise they can just like play Raptor, attack with it, and bounce it back to their hand over and over and over. I'm gonna hit Bruiser. Let Inga remain. Even though she is quite good against invasion of Fiora. Not super good against our 3/3 incubator token. But they have a Shadow the Source for that. There's Halo Charge Scab. Can't get back Invasion of Fiora unless I flip it and then it dies after that. It might be better to just play Scab and pick up Repurposing. Still have the 2 mana to flip a token. I think it is, because again, we have to... In order to pick up Invasion of Fiora with Scab, we have to play it, flip it, then Marchesa has to die. Which seems like we're very far from that occurring. But Repurposing is just guaranteed a great top deck. Alright, they have 1 turn to cast this Shatter the Source. It would scoop up all of their mana. But they could kill Scab with it. They mill anything else that's good for pick up a 2 mana or less thing? Captive Weird, I guess. But I'd have to shoot myself in the face to flip it, which isn't great at 9 life. But that was from us killing it. I guess that's not technically... They didn't mill that, but it's still an option for Nezumi Freewheeler. Fearless Scald is the play. That is pretty massive. 4/4 double strike here. I mean, their Shatter the Source is gone now, and I just chump. Because I don't have a way to kill that on blocks. They obviously can't go to 1 life against a 4/4 trample haste in their hand. Three or more creatures died, draw 3. 3 or more creatures will have died if I invasion right now. Hold up the mana to flip this and cast Repurposing at instant speed. Probably have to dump Invasion out next turn. They have so many cards still. They hit like they're 5 lands deep, more than halfway into the library. They gotta be holding some kind of lands here to just scare me. Or they're very, very lucky on hitting all gas. Because they've milled 0 lands. Yeah, they're over halfway through the library, and if they're even if they're a 15 land deck, they've still drawn less than a third of their lands more than halfway through the deck. If they aren't just holding some lands to be spooky. Alright, Hanger Scrounger. Well, this will definitely show us if they were holding any lands. Also, that's unfortunately really good on the Double Striker. I really wanted to repurpose Inga, but obviously can't really afford to do that if they're going to have a permanent 4-power Double Striker. I guess I could chump block the Scald, exile the Inga, and then just kill everything and let them keep the Raptor. There's too much card draw going on. I gotta decide if I need to exile Scald now to stop them from discarding and drawing. If that is the play. I just play a Tidal Terror after this? Keep blocking. Oh, they have a Cyber Cryptomancer here? They're gonna Meeting of Minds with it. Okay. That means they get to discard 2, draw 2? That's really good. Especially if they were holding lands. They weren't holding lands? How do you draw this much gas? Oh my god. Oh. Well, that makes that simple. 1 creature died, they don't draw 3. Wait, what creatures died? Okay, I was gonna say, it still went on the stack. I was like, okay, Inga's gone. We don't have to worry about Inga with the board wipe. Okay. I don't have the mana to play and flip Freewheeler, but I have the mana to play Terror and flip a token. The attack with the Inga worked pretty well for us to have that out of the way now. But they've got all gas, apparently. They're 26 cards in, 6 lands. 7 lands, okay. They have finally found their lands, but that's just good for them at this point, because we know these 5 are non-lands. Preening Champion. Marauding Dreadship. Oh, that's really good against us, against our board wipe specifically, because both of those will not be creatures, but will be post-board wipe. Hey, Lollipop, how's it going? I think we're dead here. I think we're not getting there this game. Their deck's just really resilient against the board wipe. They have so much card draw and non-creature creatures now. I don't think I flip an Incubator, because I could be board wiping here, but let's see what we get. Temporal Cleansing? I don't have the mana to play and flip Freewheeler still. Don't have a flyer, so I'm taking 2 in the sky no matter what. They have 5 potential attackers, 6 because Rampaging Raptor. Yeah, they just have such a resilient deck here where we're damned if we do and damned if we don't. If I board wipe, they're just going to slam this thing down, crew this, hit for 8. If I don't board wipe, they're just going to keep chipping at us with the flyer and not playing more cards. I'll just get out of the way. Doesn't seem like a winnable game here. Too much value town. Alright, Rampaging Raptor. Flip Incubator Crew Dreadship. Put me to 1. Or do they have a card in hand that is better to play here than that? If it's better than putting me to 1, then that probably means I'm dead. It probably means putting me to 0, because what's better than putting your opponent to 1? Putting them to 0. Send in just the Raptor. Just gonna play the Raptor, buff it, put me to 3? Or do they have the spell to finish it off? I can trade into Dreadship with Incubator, that's true. Doesn't technically put me to 1. Forces a trade-off, though. Okay, hit me for 6, put me to 3. Can cleansing the raptor and then mill it with freewheeler? I can't do that all and flip Invasion of Fiora, but I'm also at 3 life, so it might not be good to flip Invasion of Fiora anyway, since I would just die to 3 triggers of Marchesa. So I think I do Convoke. I don't think if I flip Invasion, I die to Marchesa. All right, I almost ran out of time there. I think I Convoke so that I can play Freewheeler and still flip this next Incubator. Almost timed out. Okay, they did put in the deck, so we play Freewheeler and Millet. I mean, we'd play Freewheeler even if they didn't put in the deck. I need 2 blockers up here because I need to be able to block the 2/2 Incubator and the Dreadship, because if they play any creature, they attack with a Dreadship and a 2/2. So I need to not attack with this. Oh my god, every time they play a Convoke spell, they deal a damage to me, and I'm at 3 life. And they can definitely attack with both creatures if they wish. Although I can block really easily here. Block really well. They attack with both. Okay. Please click OK, thank you. See if our opponent has a trick or something here. Only got 1 card left now. I have exactly enough life to flip Freewheeler, but then I go to 1 if I do it. So I don't think that's ever going to happen. Ouch. Well, still kill 2 of their creatures. Invasion of Segovia gives me 2 more blockers. Got exactly enough blockers for their board if they draw dead. That does not seem like they drew dead. That seems like a dead on board. They're just going to send it all in immediately. What did you top deck? Another trick? This one draws them a card? Guess we still trade everything off. Umezawa-san, let's go. Umezawa-san? San? You've created a new issue telling me to call her Umezawa-san. Because I really don't speak Japanese. That's life gain. That is life gain. Could you imagine if we come back here? That would be such a fitting end if we can do it. Oh, no more life gain. But this whole draft has been one massive comeback. Yeah, Timoret has been incredible. No? Oh, is that because they killed Timoret? I was like, wait, did I exile the wrong cards or something? They're still at 19. It's gonna be a really uphill battle. Aetherblade Agent's a huge draw, though. I guess I don't get to flip Fiora. Yeah, shutting down our life gain means we don't get to flip Fiora safely. Oh, I'm at 5 cards in deck. They're at 5 cards too. Wait a second. Is this a mill game? They mill out before me. Oh my god, 5 cards in their library, 5 cards in mine. They draw first though. Hold up a minute. We don't flip Fiora because then we'll mill out. We definitely go for the flip on Segovia. Is this a May ability? Whenever it deals combat damage to a player or battle, draw a card. It's not a May ability, so I think I also just don't flip Aetherblade Agent. They have 4 cards left. Oh my god, they just scoop! They scoop! 0-2 into 7-2, the entire full swing comeback. With a lot of huge comeback games like that. This draft was the definition of a comeback. We'll look at the deck again, because it was sweet. There were some really nice synergies popping up quite often. That was a crazy draft run. That was super fun. Timuret for MVP. Technically Invasion of Fiora. If we didn't have an Invasion of Fiora style bomb, we couldn't really have done this kind of deck. So Invasion of Fiora, the huge MVP. Having the legends to go alongside it, like Atris, Timuret, and Umezawa, was really, really important because it was pivotal in a lot of those games to be able to flip it immediately into Marchesa, which was phenomenal. Even one game we got to flip it with a Cadus on board, which was really nice. But yeah, Timuret for the life gain, the biggest like common or uncommon that you're going to see a decent amount of the time, that was a huge overperformer. This is just was a really important card for keeping us in the game later on when we're trying to stabilize and turn things around. All that incidental life gain, and it also made it so our opponent in one of those games couldn't breach the multiverse into Halo Charge Scab renewing it, because we got to exile our own Scab before the breach worked. I could have played with Timuret even a little better in one of the other games, because they had another card. Unseal the Necropolis is another one. You can't respond to them choosing their targets. So I needed to exile their Chrome Shark before this spell resolved, and it could have put in even more work for us, but even there, it did great. Assimilate Essences were kind of bad here. We were drawing them late pretty often, but they probably did win us at least one game. That was the card I think I liked the least out of everything in the deck. Everything else, though, showed up, did its job, and in some games were incredible. Great draft run there.